Man, Shawn and Nikki, they really be going through it, don't they?
How we get up, just call back, right back. We can spend, then get it right back, man. She just gotta want all of that, so that's why I bought.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Jamie, that's me here. It's time for us to get into Married at First Sight. I do believe this is episode 6, okay? Make sure you guys are coming into this video. You are liking the video, giving your girl thumbs ups, and also subscribing to the channel, all right? Let's go ahead and talk about this episode. So it's time for the couples to wrap up their honeymoons. They make their way back to Seattle, it is, and they also move into their apartments, right? So Nick says his idea of a great marriage is just being happy around each other, right? I don't really think he's gonna get that in Courtney for real. But as the episode progressed, it seemed like they were warming up to each other just a tad bit. Okay, so we'll see. Also, I want to let you guys know I'm likely not going to be taking notes on Adam and Marissa. Like, I think I skipped them this entire episode. They really don't give anything, but babe, babe, try this, babe, can you check for this, babe? Hey, babe, what, babe? Which one would you choose, babe? You know, the couple to eliminate, babe. If you could, babe, which one is it? Babe, this is my home. Babe, yeah, jet skis. Babe, yeah, love it. Like, it's really Adam talking, and I don't care. Okay. Michelle and Cameron, they talk about the 13-hour travel day that they had. And Cameron says that he really enjoyed being with Michelle throughout that entire 13-hour travel day. He really liked it. And in the preview for, I guess, upcoming episodes, I don't know, maybe Cameron is going to kind of surprise me. Because again, how Cameron was coming off in the beginning, it seems like Michelle will be following him in his career wherever he goes, right? Now, in the previews, it looks like he's saying, like, yeah, it's just my career, but what do you want to do? It seems like he doesn't necessarily want her to have to do that. He may go to wherever she wants to go. So I don't know. Let's just, wait and see. But I thought it was interesting because this is what he tells her after he tells her that, oh, I enjoyed this 13-hour travel day with you. He goes on to say that he wants to actually live with her in real life. In real life, I want to live with you. Okay, well, now you got your opportunity, honey, right over here in this apartment. Let's get to Tori and Felipe because Tori says that she and Felipe have not had sex, honey. They have not done it. She says that they've been having a great time, but she feels like there is still so much more that they need to learn about each other at this time. And I'm like, you know what, Tori? If you ain't trying to hunch on that man right now, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Good job. You know what? I actually have to take that good job back because she's going to go back on her word. And it's seeming like she's going to be regretting the decision that she made. Okay. It was a good job until it wasn't. All right. Let's go ahead and keep going and getting into Shawn and Nikki. So they seem to be having a terrible night. All right. Seemed like they had a long day and this an even longer night. So Nikki says that they had a good time at the airport, but every day she feels like it's been something. It's been some shit every day. So they give us a flashback, right? And this is where Nikki tells Shawn that he is more of the problem than she is. No, ma'am. I disagree with any and everybody that may feel like Shawn is the only problem in this situation. Y'all both are. So when he says, no, it's both of us, I'm like, yeah, he's right. Okay. He says, no, it's both of us. But even when we are upset, we have to work towards a solution. Okay. And it seems like he's often ready to work towards a solution. Whereas with Nikki, she's still mad as fuck. Okay. And she's still trying to come out of those feelings of feeling away. And I don't really fault her for that. You know what I'm saying? It can be a problem depending on how long it lingers. But at the same time, I don't think that you could just rush somebody into a solution like right off the bat. Like, yeah, y'all do have to come to a solution, but it's also okay to give your person time. Right? If you see she mad as and she pissed off, cool. Just give it some time. Give her a minute. She'll get back. Like, give her a second. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, right? So Nikki says that he was trying to one up her by saying he's grounding and she's not organized, and then calling her crazy. Now, I don't know if it was a one up or not, but that could definitely, I could see Nikki taking it that way. I don't know if that's what he did, but if it wasn't, I could see her taking it that way. Because again, Nikki, she don't like to be critiqued. She's put herself on a pedestal to where, in my opinion, she really do be thinking she perfect. Okay. When you talk about a damn one up just a little bit in my personal, I feel like hell, you over there talking about, he not as attractive or whatever. I feel like shit, you thinking you one up in him because you look better than him yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. So I feel like if there was a one-upping situation, I do feel like it's something that y'all may likely do to each other. That's why y'all both are the damn problem. And him telling you that you're not organized, it also gives to me, in my opinion, that you likely know that about yourself. And sometimes when you know something about yourself and somebody says it, it will make you get an attitude because it's like bitch. I ain't tell you to say that out loud. I know that. So I feel like that's probably what it was. She didn't want to hear the facts of the situation. And he made it worse by calling her crazy. But see, Shawn, this is where you went wrong for me. You said when she tells him, "Oh, well, you call me crazy," he says, "Well, you were no, yeah." He said she was standing over him, calling him crazy, and he says that he wasn't calling her crazy like psycho type of crazy, right? And she says that when you call me aggressive when I was standing over you or whatever the case was, right? So when they were talking about the whole crazy comment, he was saying, "Oh, I wasn't saying you were that type of crazy. I was just using the words that you used the other day about yourself when you called yourself crazy or something." And I'm like, and in what way did she use those words when she talked about the term crazy? Because now I feel like you calling her crazy was you really trying to weaponize something against her, weaponize that word against her. Crazy, knowing it was going to make her react away. Because even when a person may be crazy, quote unquote, they don't want to hear that they crazy. Okay. So you could read the room a little bit more. And I feel like that's what you did. You said that to get a reaction out of her. Because what was going on? What was that conversation for you to say? I was just repeating back to you what you said about yourself the other day. Okay. And again, I would have told him in keywords what I said about myself. Nugget, you don't get to say it back to me. Period. Don't you call me. I'll call me crazy for you. You better not ever. So I feel like I get both sides, right? So, anywho, he says that she stormed off or whatnot. And I'm sure she did after you call her crazy. Then you turned around and called the lady aggressive or whatnot. It's like, okay, let me get the fuck about this country, motherfucker. Let me get the hell on. Okay, so he says he felt bad that she felt like he was judging her. And she tells him that he called her crazy. And that's when he told her he was repeating whatever it was that she had already said. Okay, so then she tells him the ownership piece on his part is lacking. Okay. And so Shawn says he is new to this husband thing and he wants to be able to table this convo, and they revisit it. And she says, the minute I call you out about something, you want to rush to a resolution and shut things down. I ain't ready for that and I don't like that. So she says they need help from the experts and asks him if he could sleep on the damn couch. All right. Now going back to the whole resolution thing, I can see that too. I can see him rushing her because he don't know how to deal with her emotions or whatever. So you done got in the kitchen, you done made the kitchen hot, and now you want to hurry up and run the hell up out of there. No. Stick around for a little while. Deal with the heat. Okay. Deal with the reaction of how you made me feel. Sit in it. So, anywho, she wants to have the experts come through, wants him to sleep on the couch. And so he's like, all right, fine, cool. I'll sleep on the couch. It's no problem. So he goes in there, he grabs a few things. And so then he says, I may need to come in the morning so that I could get a towel and get certain things or whatever so I could shower up or whatever. And she was like, oh, okay, you can't really get it now, get what you need. She was like, because I'm afraid you're going to be in there rummaging and this and that. Girl, shut the yeah, I'm sorry. Ma'am, be quiet talking to me, please. Okay? Because if I was in the room with you, I still would have to get up and do the very things, and the rummaging would still take place. I understand you frustrated. I understand you irritated. I'm gonna give you that one thing, which is me going to sleep on the couch, but you ain't finna control everything up in this mug. Like, that's crazy. I don't care. When she sat up there trying to get that man to get all his stuff out the closet, he said, I'm not taking all this shit. I was with him. I'm not. You could be mad 1000%. And I'm not telling you that you should not be. Matter of fact, to create a comfortable space for you, I'll sleep on the couch. But if you think I'm gonna pack all my stuff up out this room to make you feel comfortable, no. Okay? You're comfortable enough. That's one. And then number two, y'all married. You ain't gonna be able to escape him forever. Like, what? Nah, I'll see you in the morning. Girl, what? I wouldn't have got none of my I sleep out here, but I don't know if y'all noticed. It looked like Shawn actually did get his shit. I'm not gonna hold you. Because the way that he was walking in the hallway area or walking out the room, the way his body kind of leaned, it seemed like he was holding something heavy. I think he did take that suitcase out. I think he left just his shoes inside where she wanted him to take everything. So I think, yeah, I think he still gave her what she wanted though. But either way, it is what it is. Nikki tells him that she needed the space. This is the next morning. She's like, I needed that space from you. So I do appreciate you doing that. And so he then goes on to relate their situation, or I guess their dynamic, to Michelle Obama and Barack. And Michelle, once upon a time, being Barack's boss, and they having to figure out a happy medium and all of this. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't have time. Caitlyn and Devin. Okay. I don't think Caitlyn likes Devin. She says that she does, but I want to know what was on your paperwork, Caitlyn, when you came. What was on your paperwork? Did you specify and make it clear that you wanted a partner that's going to be open to giving you your space? Because they gave you the complete opposite of that. And I think she's attracted to him. Yes, I think she is attracted to him. But I think the likeness for him is drifting away for sure. So I noticed she doesn't look at him when she talks to him, right? I felt like she was looking at everything but him. And part of that, I think, is likely because the full attraction isn't there, you know? She's not all into him. But a lot of it, I think, may come from her past, like, relationships. You know what I'm saying? Being in not so great relationships, being just being uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? Having somebody occupy your space so closely and stuff. I can't explain it, but I know I can relate to how I once was after a long term, not so great relationship, similar to things that she's been through. And when people would talk to me, I had a hard time like looking them in their face, or I look away, or this or that. People being close, like, I think it stems from the terrible relationships that she's been in, those abusive dynamics or whatnot. And yeah, she has to work through that. And I'm sure that she will, but she doesn't really give him that eye contact. I mean, I feel like she finally did that in the therapy. I feel like when they were in the therapist session, that's when I saw that she looked at him. She felt comfortable. I don't know, maybe she felt safe or something. Like, it was different. And I was like, okay, she's smiling and she's looking him in his face. So she's working on that. Either way, um, in this moment when they're at the apartment, she's not really looking at him, not really talking to him much, right? She talks about going to the gym and then going to work, and she doesn't seem to talk about spending time with him, right? So they're talking about what their day would look like. And she's like, oh, well, it's cool because I know in the morning I'm going to get up, I'm going to go to the gym, I need that time, and then I'm going to go to work, and then, yeah, that's that. Not much of it was about spending time with him at all. Sounds like he's the one that's mentioning spending the time or whatever. But okay, he does go on to apologize for being too much and being needy. Right? She like, yeah, because you are needy. I mean, he is though. I'm not gonna hold you. To me, I do feel like he is. Then he gets ready to go back into the spill of things about, I guess, like the issues that they had. And she says, listen, I don't want to rehash that right now. Let's just wait for the doctors. Let's just do that and we'll talk to them. I don't think that was a bad idea. I don't think that was a bad idea. I also think it was going to be the better way for her to, well, no, I can't say that. I was going to say the better way for her to get her SHI off to really express herself. But I don't know. I just think it was a better idea for them to be able to communicate how they need to. Then she says that she did initiate a few things with him because he's saying that she didn't initiate certain things and she feels like she did. And then she goes on to talk about an exhausting conversation and being up until 2 a.m. in the morning. This is where the abusive part comes in for me. That you're trying to beat it in her head, whatever you want her to think, believe, see your point of view. I don't know. I don't like that. Keeping somebody up, depriving them of sleep to beat some shit in their head because you're not getting your way. That's not cool. That's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for resentment. That's a recipe for I'm breaking up with you. That's a recipe for I don't want to be here. I just feel like it shouldn't take till 2 a.m. Let us both get some rest. Let us sleep on it. Okay, still love you, hug you, good night, kiss you, good night. Okay, boom. Wake up in the morning. Okay, let's have the conversation now that we all have slept. Let's actively hear each other. Like, I don't like this shit to me. It makes me think a little bit of, I was watching The Ultimatum, and I'm probably going to talk about that in a separate video where I pretty much talk about just the season as a whole, right? And there was a moment during the show where there were two couples and something was posted. One of the guys saw it. All in all, there was this big blow up that took place from, I think it was 3 a.m. until 10 something in the morning, or it was 5 a.m. until 10 something. But I really think it was 3 a.m. But these people were up in the wee hours of the morning to the daybreak, to morning time, to damn their breakfast is over, arguing about some bullshit as to why y'all brought these people on this show. And to know that this man kept her up till 2 a.m. running his mouth, repeating himself, saying the same shit, because obviously whatever answers Caitlyn was likely giving to Devin, it wasn't good enough for him. That's what I believe, right? He kept her up because he wanted to hear the answer that she wanted to hear. That is the perspective that I have, right? I'm basing how that conversation went based on my own ex history of that, as well as just watching Ultimatum and seeing how that played out. And it's like you're trying to beat somebody into giving you the answer that you want because you're not getting your way. Is you cool? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It gives a bit of controlling. And I feel like if you want attention, there's nothing wrong with saying that. I just don't think it should take till 2 a.m. to get your shit off. Like, it just like, that's a problem for me. Like, I can't. I feel like that's already starting with the mental. Yeah, I can't. Y'all can talk about it in the comments. Dr. Paz, I think that's her name, or Paz. I think it's Paz. Correct me. And Courtney, Dr. P, Courtney, and Nick. So Courtney opens up about the lack of intimacy, and Nick isn't sure if she's actually attracted to him, and she says that she is, but she also opens up to him cuddling her and how she was ready for him to stop because she was cringing, like, oh, please leave me alone, whatever. Right? She says she doesn't feel the passion with him. Mm-mm. I feel like that's not much different than Shawn and Nikki, but also at the same time, I feel like they are a little further along in the affection department. So Nikki didn't have any turnoffs with her. Nick, he didn't have any turnoffs with Courtney. Seemed to have liked her, but I also feel like he ain't put too much thought into it. Like, it was weird. His answers gives that he's only here for reality TV. His answers give that he's only here for reality TV, child. But he says that he does say this. He does feel like the flirty warmth part is missing. Okay. And Courtney, she's over here trying to express herself, right? And she's struggling. She's struggling I say, girl, somebody did a number on you because you are really struggling to get it out. Because Nick asked her, he said, in your past relationships, like, how did you go about like showing affection to your partners or something? Like, if you were sitting on a couch with them, what would be something that you would do? When I tell you she goes on a long spiel and tangent to explain herself, I said, somebody did a number on this girl. I don't know if it was the parents. I don't know if it was developed from her being in sports. I think she was an athlete. I don't know if she said bodybuilder or something like that. I don't know if it came from that and you being highly critical of yourself itself physically and then it turned mentally, or was it mentally turned physically? Like, I don't know. But somebody, it was either your parents or yourself, maybe even, that has done a number on you. And I thought I was an overthinker. I never thought that you could overthink like that. You know, it was troublesome to watch. It was troublesome to watch. I was like, damn, Nikki, like, it's just I mean, not Nikki, but Courtney. It's a simple question. Like, are you, like, you okay? It was rough. It was rough. And so Dr. P was more with Nick with everything, right? She was telling Courtney that there is no rules to this, just loosen up a bit. And, she says that they should aim to create non-flirty, high affection moments just to get started. Like, just like a grab of the face or whatever, and just, a little touchy-feely type action. And we'll see what's gonna happen. Let's get to Mecca and Belle Jolie. So he reflects on his past relationship. She tells him she's a hopeless romantic. He says he is, but no, he said he isn't. I'm sorry. He says he's not because of his mom. He feels like his mom being out of the picture for a great deal of his life really affected him. Child, not only that, but you having a daddy that you got also affected you. Hello. So anyway, she tells her story about her dad, right? How they met, the DNA test, how she wanted to move forward, right? Her mom and the dad met in a club or whatever. She got pregnant. She told the dad, hey, I'm keeping her. I'm keeping my child. He said, okay, that's nice and generous of you, or whatever, how considerate. And didn't hear nothing else from the man. Find out that was her dad, took the DNA test. That's the first thing that he wanted. And once she said, hey, we can't go back, let's just move forward, he said the same thing he told her mama. How generous and considerate of you. And that's when she about knew he was never gonna be around. Child, ain't that a mess? So either who, he tells her, because I think that she was at the age of 20 when that happened. He was 21 the last time he saw his mom, from the time that she abandoned him. So he does admit that he has mommy issues. And she responds and says, listen, I can't fill nor heal the void, but I can soothe it. I'm like, girl, you could try to soothe it, you know. You could try, but sometimes people put you in that position as though that support you give ain't enough either. So, best of luck. I could tell she really likes him though. The way she looks at him and the way she smiles and grins, even though she's like, I really, really like him. But she's like, I'm not going to chase no man. I'm not going to do too much. We'll see. We'll see. She really likes him though. Really, like, I hope he likes her. I hope it develops. We'll see. Tori and Felipe are talking. They talk about how good they are together. He opens up and says that he decided to do Married at First Sight because he was really lonely. And I said, child, that's probably why his ass was out partying every night, because he was so damn lonely. Okay. Anywho, Dr. P, Caitlin, and Devin, they're all talking. And Devin has had a lot of rejection and abandonment in his life. And Caitlin says that Devin woke up and saw her already getting dressed for the gym. And when he saw that, she saw him peek his head up and then he laid back down. So she figured he probably wanted to give him some more sleep. So she's like, all right, cool. And I could go to the gym too and just go work out. I mean, I think she did use that as a moment to like tiptoe out and have her a long time, instead of just reassuring and making, or at least just making sure, like, hey, you good? You're going to catch some more nap, or you're going to get up. Because he probably peeked his head up like, is she up? So she wasn't going to get me up. Oh, okay. Well, then let me play sleep and see if she'll come over and get me. So I ain't no telling. Anywho, she says he receives a situation. Now, this was also interesting, going back to the thought I already had with him keeping her up till 2 in the morning with a conversation. That's why she cut that conversation off that night and said, I don't want to go back into the spiel of that. I'd rather wait for the doctors. Now it makes sense, because he is the type like Killian on, what's that show, The Ultimatum, where he wants you to just keep going until you tell him what it is he wants to hear. Like, what? Anywho, so she says that he receives situations differently or whatever, and he doesn't accept her reality of that situation. I don't care what nobody say. That's a form of abuse. I feel like that's mental abuse right there, and likely emotional. I don't care what nobody talking about. I don't care. If I'm telling you what it is, and you think you're gonna beat me into submission by depriving me of sleep, having me up all night, dealing with your fuck over a gym situation? And now we see why that girl likely isn't as affectionate with him as Adam and Marissa are with each other. Because you do that make her likely not want to touch you. Okay, but anywho, don't piss me off. So he says that he doesn't see her as the villain. He just wants to understand her. That's what he's saying. Okay, that's what he say. Now he in there. You just want to understand her, so you keep her up till 2 a.m. You just want to understand her. Nah, that's you playing in the doctor's face. In my personal, I'm gonna have to see something different for my mindset to change. But it's sold. Because if you see a situation a certain way and you don't accept her reality of what it is, sir, that's not trying to understand her for me. Not to me. That's trying to get her to likely understand you and do what I say. And this is how it's gonna go. Talking about some damn, that's not how I envision my relationship. What? So you only thought about how you envisioned it. You never thought about how the other person would envision it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, no. So anywho, let's keep going. She says that she doesn't want to be dissected as much. Right. So they tell each other things that they do like about each other because she does like him. She says she's attracted to him, child. Okay. So he asked for eye contact. That was interesting because I did notice the eye contact as well. I said she don't really look at you like that. It could be due to other things that she's been through in the past. And then now, as I'm hearing more of the situation, I just feel like she don't really look at you because she don't be feeling 100% safe with y'all. Right? But I do feel like the doctor being there made her feel safe. And that's why she looked at you and had that conversation. Okay. So hopefully, whatever these little things that are popping up with Devin can get fixed before they get any further down the line and decide to stay in this damn marriage. Okay. Period. And she says she knows she don't really look at him too much or whatever, but she says she gonna work on that. So good luck. Let's get to Shawn and Nikki. They get back in the room and he done took a whole bath. And then he done went and got in the bed and have the audacity to lay down and be over there looking like what's taking her so long. What the fuck? So then she get in the bed when she done, because she said, I'm finna get in the shower. She get in the bed. She brings up not having to share bathroom time. She's like, that's the great thing about it. We don't have to share bathroom time. And says, you're in and you're out. Like, oh my God, did you get all the parts? So as they're discussing this, I'm over here like, so damn, did he get in the shower? And we just didn't see it. We just saw the aftermath of him wiping himself off with this small towel. Maybe he did get in the shower already. I don't know. I don't know if they got in there or not, okay? Because it looked like he was just doing a little dry off or whatever he was doing at the table. But then she said, you're in and you're out. Like, did you get all the parts? So when she said, did you get all the parts? I'm like, so he did jump in the shower? He just was in that bed for like 3 minutes? Like, what? Huh? So, anywho, okay. Um, yeah, I was wondering like what's going on. So then she starts saying hygiene is very important to her. So then he starts questioning soap. And if it's actually cleaning your body, I said, if y'all don't, and you a doctor talking like this, you are a fucking doctor talking like this. I bet you if she wanted you to get in that shower with her, you wouldn't give a fuck about that soap and whether it was cleaning. You'll be trying to clean all parts of her and your self. Do you hit, boy? I can't. I can't. I bet you she tell you if you want some of this nookie ookie wookie, you gonna jump but you gotta bathe you gonna get in that shower though. And you gonna wash your ass with the soap and the soap that she tell you to use more than likely. And this is why, as I'm thinking about it, because I'm like, did he get in the shower? And we just didn't see it. This is why I think he didn't get his ass in the shower. Now, I thought that he did based on the things that they talked about, in addition to, right? The fact that when he had the towel, he was drying off his head under his arms or whatever, right? And I think he did the little splash on the face. It's the fact that the windows was not fogged up for me. So I know you didn't get your ass in the tub. Child. Good luck. Good luck, sir. Good luck. Good luck, sir. So, anywho, he says he's glad to be back in the bed. He thanks her for letting him back. He takes accountability for his actions at the airport and says he's learning to adapt. Every time y'all get into it, you say that you damn learning. Okay? Listen, you learned a lot in the first week. I want to see what's going to be executed in the next week. Tori and Felipe, they down there with the dog. They in the room. They on the sofa. They rubbing, kissing up, touching up, filling up. They get the hunching. She tiptoeing out the room. Okay. She said she had a bit of flight or something like that. Flight energy. I didn't know if she was talking about the flights that they took to get back or flight as in I want to jump ship because this ain't it. Not sure. She said she felt suffocated. That's why she left the room. So she's like, it has nothing to do with Felipe, the hunching. None of that has nothing to do with none of that. Not at all. And I said, child, I think it does. I do. I think it does. I think Felipe probably, I think he may not, I think he probably don't know how to dance, which is why he likely don't know how to, unless he, yeah, that's what I would think. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I think he dances the way, I think he fucks the way he dances, which is very bad. That's what I think. And I think that she was underwhelmed in that moment. Either that, right? It could have been that, or I will give her out. It also could have been the fact that she told herself that she was gonna go, she was not gonna go this far with him in this process so soon, and she went against that. And that could have been something that really was hitting her hard, which is why she ended up leaving out the room. I don't know. I'm willing to believe the game down there ain't that good because I don't feel like he's had that many women while he's sitting up there talking about some, oh, I get hit on every night, this and that, and the other. I guess. Either way, child. Good. That's all that I got. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'm Jamie, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Right back.